It's falling from the clouds, a strange and lovely sound. I hear it in the thunder and the rain. It's ringing in the skies, like cannons in the night. Are the music of the universe plays? You are singing, you are holy, you're great and mighty. The moon and the stars declare who you are. And I'm so unworthy, but still you love me. Forever my heart will sing of how great you are. Oh Lord, how great you are. Beautiful and free, the song of galaxies is reaching far beyond the Milky Way. It's joining with the sound. Come on, let's sing it loud. The music of the universe plays. You are, and you are holy. You're great and mighty. The moon and the stars declare who you are. And I'm so unworthy, but still you love me. Forever my heart will sing of how great you are. How great you are. You are holy. You are holy. You're great and mighty. The moon and the stars declare who you are. And I'm so unworthy, but still you love me. Forever my heart will sing of how great you are. You are holy. You are holy.
You know, there's so many lives that are just truly a testimony. I mean, I'm gonna start crying. Oh, Nellie. I always want to have self-control when I'm up here, and it doesn't always happen. And it truly is when I watch people's walks, and I watch, you know, just their lives being walked out in their relationship with the Lord. It really, really ministers to me. I mean, it speaks so much to me. And there's always these attacks that happen, you know, and then when you watch people walk through those attacks and still persevere and stay strong in their relationship with the Lord, it touches my life. And so last year we had this really big attack. You know, I'm always like, whoa! And I should expect them again when we have retreats. And so what happened is, about 2 weeks before the retreat, we had arranged for, why is her name leaving me, Lindsay Morton, to do the worship. And so her mom starts calling me 2 weeks before the retreat. I think Lindsay has strep throat, and you know, my kids all have strep throat. So, and this is a 20-year-old, so I'm thinking like, okay, all right, I'll pray for her. So, you know, I didn't know like what the big deal was. I know it's a big deal. I'm not trying to say strep throat is no big deal. And so she kept calling me throughout the week and keeping me updated, and I'm like, well, thank you so much. You know, I really appreciate you keeping me updated on Lindsay, you know. And so then by the end of the week, suddenly I realized that she thought Lindsay was doing the retreat that coming weekend, when our retreat was actually 2 weeks away. And her bridal shower was the retreat weekend. So, needless to say, panic set in, because I'm thinking, like, why are you calling me so much? I love Lindsay, but oh, you think it's this weekend? No. So, my dear daughter Jessica had this connection that a worship leader that was in Hawaii that had moved to Arizona but was staying in Colorado Springs because her sister had just had a baby, and that sister's husband just got deported to Iraq, and so she was alone to care for the child. So her sister came, the worship leader came to help the sister. So she agreed to do the retreat, which we were just beyond excited about. And so retreat came Friday morning, and Jessica and I get in the Suburban. We're going to head down to Colorado Springs because this girl doesn't have a car, and go pick up the worship leader. And so we're getting ready to put gas in the car, and the worship leader gives us a call and says, my sister just fell this morning and has totally hurt her leg. She can't even walk. I can't come do the retreat because I need to help my sister. Now, I thought I had panic 2 weeks beforehand. Now I turned to Jessica and I'm like, beg her. Tell her sister can come. We'll care for her sister up in the retreat. What can we do? And none of it worked. So then I called my husband, you know, calmly called my husband.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, we're troubling her. So it'll be fine, honey, it's okay. Meltdown right there at Costco. And so he starts calling around. Lindsay Morton, I call her, do you know anybody? And so her mom Stacy's calling, Lindsay's calling, I'm calling, Lonnie's calling, everybody's calling, trying to find a worship leader to try to help us. And so then my husband, you know, he's a creative soul, so he you know, I can't always think outside the box. My husband's really, really good about that because he's just so creative. So he goes, how about we call Ali and see if he can come and do the retreat and see if we can get a replacement for church on Sunday. And yeah, yeah. I don't care who comes, please have a worship leader. And
I'm about to leave.
No, I know.
Drop off the kids.
Yeah, this was like a huge thing. So Lonnie calls Ollie, and amazingly enough, Ollie agrees to do the women's retreat. Not only that, but I have to tell you, he's in charge of watching the children so that his wife can go on the women's retreat. So in order for him to come up, he's got to bring the children, which, you know, is totally understandable. But here's poor Jewel wanting to come to the women's retreat, and now she's got her whole family there. I just can't get away. And he was just beyond amazing. I can't even tell you how amazing it was. And he was so sensitive to us. He would come up here, and then we would start to talk, and he'd go out to the deck, he'd run. Like, I don't hear what women are talking about. And then he'd pace out there in the cold until he could see, I don't know if somebody signaled him or what, or how he knew to come back in. So he'd come back in, and he took the kids, they stayed at Holiday Inn, and totally, like, worked it out because of his love for the Lord. He totally goes, I'm called to this, and I love the Lord, and I'll do it. And the same with Jewel. Like, that was beyond amazing. And it spoke to my life. I'm like, am I there? And,
Let it rain.
Let it rain.
if I look up, it drains into the back of my head.
Don't do that in church.
I do. Have you ever seen me in church? That's what's going on. So this year, we have another situation. You know, I asked the teachers to teach. You know, I'm a kind of a go with the flow person, but then this other half of me, maybe schizophrenic or something, because there's half of me that are, and then there's half of me that we have to be like ahead of the game, on schedule, and so, you know, I don't dump it on the ladies to come teach. I do give it a little bit of advance notice, because I have to have advance notice. So, you know, I asked Jordan if she could come teach this weekend, and, you know, again, she was just so excited to be asked, and really loves being able to teach you guys the Word and what God has put into her heart. And she had a baby, how long ago? 2 weeks? Is he 2 weeks? He's not 2 months.
Just a month.
Just a month. The little guy's right there in Auntie Paya's hands. And so this week she's like, I don't have time for that. I can't come on a retreat. But I want to teach. And so she gets up at the crack of dawn this morning and comes up here, all kids in tow, because of her relationship with the Lord and her love for you guys, that she pushes through these circumstances. Me, I just have a meltdown at Costco. These other people, they're like, and it just speaks so much to me when somebody is faced with odds against and perseveres and pushes through that. And so her walk this morning has really spoke to me and really ministered to me. So I know God has great things in store. So let me introduce to you Miss Jordan.
One year, 26 years ago, I had parachutes that didn't open. And I'm a little hard-headed, so it wasn't when I came to the Lord. But you know, you go through all the things like, wow, most people die from that. Why did I live? And why am I not paralyzed? And you start the questioning, and you realize how blessed you are. You realize how lucky you are, because you don't know that you're really blessed. But I realized later that this was the catalyst. This was, I can now see where God's hand was moving.
It's prerequisite.
That's right.
He knew the lives that he was going to put in front of mine to bring me here. And the first time I saw God's hand move, I was broken. And part of it has to do with meeting Donna. I mean, we just worked together. You know, I put on events, and the Weston's my hotel, and our paths crossed, and we'd sit and we'd talk, and I'd say, yeah, I'll come visit your church. Yeah, I think I'll come visit your church. But I was in a mega church, I mean, for Denver. And it was in December, and I'm going, this is just not it for me. So I decided that I'd figured that out. So me and the TV on Sunday, we'd watch blah, blah, blah. And it was like the first Sunday in January, and it was, the Lord said, get it up, get it dressed, and get it over to that church. And once I was there, I knew why. You know, it was this topical stuff just doesn't get you the word. Topical services don't. This word by word, verse by verse does. And so my transformation wasn't the accident, which probably was no accident, but it was seeing God's hand move and seeing it from even before that point, you know, from my husband's death and so on and so forth. But I'm forever changed, and I kept trying to fight this. I wanted it to be something else, and this morning I realized that something else came last night.
God to set me free. Now I live to bring you praise. Oh Lord, no one else, none but Jesus. Oh Lord, none but Jesus. I surrender all. I surrender all to Jesus, my precious Savior. I surrender all. I surrender all.